welcome back again. It's been a minute, I know. I took a long break to review myself and know what I wanted, and it's been a lot of things going on in my life. This is Seeking Christ with Shiro. Today we are going to be learning about the sins of the tongue. The tongue is a small part of the body, but it can commit a lot of atrocities if we do not use it the right way. The tongue can bless and it can curse. There are 13 types of sins that the tongue can commit that I want us to review today. Let us start off with the lying tongue. The truth hurts, but God sees us whole. Revelation 21:8 states, "But the cowardly, the unbelieving, and the vile, the murderers, and the sexually immoral, those who practice arts, the adorators, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur." This is a second death. Exodus 23:1 says, "Do not spread false reports. Do not help a guilty person by being a malicious witness." I know sometimes we are used to telling the little white lies and we think it's all fine. No one will know. Let me continue telling this. No one will find out. It's a secret. But I'm telling you, lying, it is a sin. Psalms 34:13, "Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit." Proverbs 12:22, "The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in the people who are trustworthy." Lying is one of the deadliest sins that God detests. So we can hear in all these verses that God does not like people who are into lying. I know one of the commandments is that thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. The other verse we're going to look at, and it is the last verse about the lying tongue, is John 8:44. "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies." So when we are lying, we are going to be entertaining the father of lies, which is the devil. The other type of sins of the tongue is a flattering tongue. What is a flattering tongue? When someone comes to you, anaanza kukuchocha, okay? The words of compliments that are not sincere. Maybe they're telling you that to make you feel so confident about yourself, and in deep down they know that they're just mocking you. That is flattery. "Oh, unakaa poa leo, si umedunga. Wacha tu." But then deep down they know that they're just mocking you. They are using sarcasm to make you feel some type of way, but then behind you they are maybe laughing with their friend about how you're looking. That is an insincere kind of way to express how you're looking, to show you how you're looking, but then they are lying. Okay. Proverbs 29:5-6 says, "Those who flatter their neighbors are spreading nets for their feet. Evildoers are snared by their own sin, but the righteous shout for joy and are glad." A liar and a flatterer are out to destroy. It doesn't matter how good their words are or how convincing they sound. They are in the same line with the liar, because whatever they are saying to you, it's not the truth. The other verse we're going to look at in this context of the flattering tongue is Proverbs 28:23. "Whoever rebukes a person will in the end gain favor, rather than one who is flattering with a flattering tongue." Job 32:21-22. "I will show no partiality, nor will I flatter anyone. For if I were skilled in flattery, my maker would soon take me away." A flattering tongue is a deceitful tongue. Do not be lied by anyone that it is a good and sweet thing. It is a deceitful tongue and it is a form of lying. So it is falling on the same category with lying. The other category is number 3, the overused tongue. This is talking a lot of words without even thinking. So you end up lying and sinning, end up lying, because most of the things that you are saying, some of them are even unrealistic, but you are just saying them because you're speaking a lot and you want to entertain people. So you're searching, you're looking for things to just say. So we should be thinking a lot before we speak. If you want to speak sensible things and you want to make sense to people, you don't just have to speak and speak without thinking. The verse that goes with this context is Ecclesiastes 5:3. A dream comes when there are many cares, and many words mark the speech of a fool. So if you speak a lot without thinking, you're marking the speech of a fool. Proverbs 10:18. Whoever cancels hatred with lying lips and spreads slander is a fool. The lips of the righteous nourishes many, but the fools die of lack of sense. But let your yes be yes and your no be no. For whatever is more than this is from the evil one. Be quick to hear, but slow to speak, and slow to anger. Okay, so you don't have to just speak, make noise, lie to people, tell them unrealistic things. Some of them even know that you're lying, but they're just staring at you, just wondering how dare this person just looks at me in the eye and continue lying, continue talking. Why don't we just shut up and just talk the things that make sense, the things that will help others? The other type of tongue is swift tongue, a tongue that is quick to respond, talk, or gossip. Proverbs 18:13. Sprouting off before listening to the facts is both shameful and foolish. People with a swift tongue do not check the authenticity and the clarity of the information before responding. It's important to listen and think before responding to avoid saying the wrong and sinful thing. The other tongue we are going to look at is the tail-bearing tongue, the backbiter. When people speak behind other people's back, they can't go to them with the accusations, for they are usually not true. Proverbs 6:16, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Proverbs 11:13, a gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. Proverbs 8:18, the words of a gossip are like a choice morsels. They go down to the innermost part. This backbiter is the person that you give them your information in private, and you tell them it's a secret, don't tell anyone, and then they are out there just telling anyone and everyone your business. That is a backbiter, someone that cannot be accountable to any information that you are given. That is a gossiper, and according to the word of God, the gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. So if you're trustworthy, you know that you are doing according to God's will. Slandering tongue. This is speaking badly about a person without caring whether it is true or not. We know a lot of people in our lives who do that. James 3:15. The practice of slander is demonic. People who engage in slandering other people are being led by demons, not by the Spirit of God. The root of slander is a heart that is either wayward or completely unconverted. Psalms 105:5. Whoever slanders their neighbors is in secret, I will put to silence. Whoever has haughty eyes and a proud heart, I will not tolerate. Psalms 50:20. You sit and testify against your brother and slander your own mother's son. When you did these things and I kept silent, You thought I was exactly like you, but I now align you and set my accusations before you. The other tongue, okay, let me just go back to the slandering tongue, whereby you just accuse people and start speaking wrongly about them. That is a sin, as we have seen. The other tongue is a proud tongue. You feel yourself, you're the best, you're the big kahuna, you're the one on top, you know. You can't go down, you can't humble yourself. You have the proud tongue. Everything you're speaking, you're like, oh, I'm the best, I do this, I do that, I am blessed, I have money, I have this. You cannot go down. You just humble yourself, sit down, yeah, and take a chill pill. A haughty, arrogant tongue, boastful and proud. The proud tongue speaks so highly of oneself as if others are not significant. You know, they are so full of themselves. Proverbs 27:2. Let someone else praise you and not your own mouth, on an outsider and not your own lips. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Be humble and let the Lord uplift you. The other tongue we are going to look at is the gossiping tongue. It is also known as the evil whispering. A gossiping tongue talks behind other people's back, engaging in conversations about others when they are not present. Most of the things that they talk about are not true. The details in the tales are not yet confirmed to be real, yet the gossiping tongue utters them with confidence. The gossiping people, you are not pleasing the Lord. So Proverbs 15:4, the gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. Proverbs 18:8, the words of a gossip are like choice muscles, they go down to the innermost part. You talk about your friend, you talk about people, you're not confident about what you're saying, you're just mentioning things that are lies, you're using your tongue wrongly. Number 9, piercing tongue. This is a way of communication where a person uses indirect words to convey messages to you. They pretend to be speaking of someone else but indirectly speaking to you. Gotemana, unakata mtu na maneno lakini unajifanya unaongelelea mtu mwingine, but initially you're talking about them. Okay, you are just, let me say, you're just a coward because you can't face them to tell them where the problem is if you need something to be solved. So unatumia the piercing tongue, which is a sin. Proverbs 12:18, the words of a reckless pierce like they pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. The other tongue is the cursing tongue, the evil speaking. You're just cursing people. You get mad a little bit and you're just cursing people. You're saying you will never do this, you will never amount to anything, you'll never do that. You know, you're just saying reckless, cursing words. That's a sin. We should use our tongues to bless and not to curse. Romans 12:14. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Okay, our 1 Corinthians 4:12, we work hard with our own hands. When we are cursed, we bless. When we are persecuted, we endure it. Do not repay evil with evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with the blessings, because to this you are called, so that you may inherit a blessing. People who curse will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. That just came from 1 Peter 3:9. Okay, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven if your work is just to curse people left, right, and center. You know, the last verse is Psalms 10:7. His mouth is full of curses and deceit, and the oppression under the tongue is mischief and wickedness. You hear? These are all sins of the tongue. Most people are victims of generational curses because some of the people in their family, their parents, their grandparents were speaking recklessly, and they spoke in a very negative way, therefore cursing them without even thinking and considering the consequences of the words that they were speaking. Generational curses can only be broken through repentance, consecration, positive affirmation, prayers, and fasting. Everyone should use their tongue to bless and not to curse. Period. That's it. The other sin of the tongue, sin number 11, is busybody. These people always act so mightily and tries to straighten others out. They see themselves as so perfect. They appoint themselves as monitors, meddling in other people's businesses that do not concern them. 1 Peter 4:15. But let no one of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. 2 Thessalonians 3:11. We hear that some among you are idle and disruptive. They are not busy, they are busy bodies. The other sin of the tongue is the false accusations. Now, this one is bad. Someone comes in and then says that someone stole my money. Then someone from the corner says, "It was you. I know it was her. I saw her. I saw her taking the money." You have accused that person wrongly, knowing very well that you did not see them do that. So what you're doing, you're sinning. You're using your tongue to lie against a person. They are referred to as liberals. False accusation is lying against others. Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye that men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Okay? Blessed are ye when men shall revile and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil things against you and false things for my sake. Matthew 27:12. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. We are still going on. And the last sin of the tongue is dissimulation. This is a form of deception. The deceiving tongue. You're deceiving people. You're conning people. You're cunning. They are cunning, and you possess hypocrisy inside you. So you're still lying. Okay? Calling a sick at work and you know you're not. Conning people in pretense that you have a sick person or you're sick. Telling lies to cover up your mistakes. 2 Kings 10:19. Now summon all the prophets of Baal, all his servants and all his priests. See that no one is missing, because I am going to hold a great sacrifice for Baal. Anyone who fails to come will no longer live. But Jehu was acting deceptively in order to destroy the servants of Baal. 1 Samuel 21:13. So he pretended to be insane in their presence, and while he was in their hands, he acted like a madman, making marks on the doors of the gate and letting saliva run down his beard. You can go ahead and read those verses for yourself, and you can expound on them. That one in 2 Kings 10:19, whereby Jehu was acting deceptively towards those prophets of Baal because he wanted to destroy them, instead of speaking from what God had told him. He was lying to them. That is a lie called deception and dissimulation. Let's avoid these sins of the tongue so we can fulfill God's will. Most of these sins of the tongue become addictive. So in every addiction you are going to encounter in your life, make sure that you involve God. You make sure that you pray and fast. because it is the only way that you can be able to save yourself from any kind of addiction. I know the worst kind of the sins of the tongue is lying, because as we have reviewed every type of the sins of the tongue, lying and deception has been entangled to each and every one of them. Let us avoid all that. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope and pray that I'll be able to do more. See you in the next one. Kindly like, share, and subscribe, and let's learn together in this journey seeking Christ with Shiro. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.